Welcome to today's virtual career exploration video. I'm Danielle Britton, Talent and Education Director for the Greater Binghamton Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Binghamton Education Outreach Program. I'm joined today by Mark Gaeta, who's the Chief Operating Officer for Matthews Auto Group. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Danielle. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, so we're going to jump right in. I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit about your career at Matthews and a little bit about Matthews as well.
Sure. I believe it or not, when I was in high school, started washing cars for the Matthews Auto Group between my sophomore and junior year, and then between my junior and senior year, and just fell in love with the car business. I was always working on the used car lot, involved with getting cars in and out of the shop, and just it pulled me in at a very young age. Did very well in high school, thought I wanted to go to college, found out after 5 weeks, even though I did great in college or in high school, college wasn't for me. So I got out of college and started selling used cars at that time for Matthews when they were still downtown after they had bought it from Deach, and had been with them ever since.
That's awesome. So you talked a little bit about how you got interested in it. So you started in used car sales, but what made you really want to stick with this career path?
The biggest thing is the Matthews family is an incredible family. It was a great place from day one to work at. There's a true family feel here. A lot of our people, most of our people, team members have been here a very long time. Myself included, when you count when I was in high school back in 1980 and 81, so I'm closing in on 40 years. And the greatest thing about our organization is the ability for growth. So what started originally with, they had the Chrysler Plymouth dealership on the Parkway. Before they bought the Pontiac Cadillac Jeep dealership from Deach when it was on Court Street in Carroll, on Court and Carroll in Binghamton. So, we went from there to now we're 8 rooftops, 13 franchises. We're down in Blakely, Pennsylvania with our Planet Kia and Planet Pre-Owned down there. Our newest, in fact, if you look at the sign behind me, it's so new we don't even have them up yet. And I think it's come full circle for the Matthews family because their first dealership was a Chrysler Plymouth dealership. And the last one that we opened up just in January was a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership in Great Bend, Pennsylvania. So 2 of the rooftops are there in PA. And then the other 6 are between Norwich and the Vestal area here. And, I started in sales, selling used cars. They recognized that they had some ability to go into management, at which point, into the late 80s, sold a lot of used cars, then started selling a lot of new cars. And back then, Sam Dell, where Moe's is now, used to be Saturn of Binghamton. And that was owned by Sam Dell, an auto group out of Syracuse. And the Matthews had purchased that from Sam Dell. And I was asked at that point to go over there as the general manager. So that was 95. And since that point on, all of their new acquisitions, when we did the Ford store in Norwich, when we did Planet Pre-Owned down in Music, all of those I've gone as a GM and brought those new dealerships to life for them, and brought a lot of really good people along. I've always said, I've done my job when you take my job. So a lot of these people who worked with me as salespeople became sales managers, and then the sales managers became general managers. And I hope someday there's someone that will come take my job as the chief operating officer. That means I've given my gift to them. We're all about growth at this auto group. And I'm a perfect example where if you put your mind to it and you work hard with this auto group, the opportunities are endless. Like I said, you're looking at someone without a college degree that is the chief operating officer of a very large auto group.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what does your day-to-day look like as a chief operating officer?
You know, the best part about it, Danielle, is it's a moving target.
Yeah.
Every day is different. With the 8 locations, the 13 franchises, we have incredible teams that do a very good job taking care of our guests that come into our facilities every day. You know, but there's different programs that the factories bring in that we have to take a look at. So I partner up with the GMs and the other management teams to ensure the most important thing is that we're exceeding the customer's expectations. We haven't grown to where we are. You know, we went from 1,200 cars a year to this year. As long as we bounce back as quick as we feel we will, this will be an 8,000 cars this year for us. And it's because we're very confident if you take care of the internal first, so if you take care of your team members first, and then it's easier for them to take care of the guests that come through the door. And we're about transparency. We're about honesty. When we put our head down on a pillow at night, we feel good about the way we do business. The incredible thing about the Matthews family, a lot of families that have become successful don't care who gets in their way to become successful. They do what they have to do. The Matthews seem to help everybody along the way. And we just feel internally, I can't expect you, we want you to treat that guest the same way that, so we can't treat you one way and then expect you to not be that way with the guests. So it's from the top of the organization down. Robbie Matthews has an open door policy. I have an open door policy. And we always know without our team members, we're nothing. So it's very important that we take care of our team members, and the family atmosphere that's here is second to none. Some of the outside vendors that we do business with that come in, people that are all up and down the East Coast, and they say, you know, they go in dealerships all over the place and they just don't seem to see or feel what they do when they come in one of our stores. So you can talk, but it also has to be there. And it's nice to see when other people who come in and do business with us recognize it. So.
Awesome. You talked a lot about the different sales and management type of roles. What other type of positions are there at Matthews?
So the general managers they take care, they're responsible of the entire facility. So not only the sales end of it, but the service end, the parts end, the customer experience end. And then when you get down into the individual departments, there's managers that will run the sales department. And then we have fixed ops. Your fixed ops is your service and parts department. So we have, give or take, around 400 team members total throughout the whole auto group. One of the neat things that we're going to introduce, and we had it ready to roll prior to the coronavirus, and we've got it on the runway now, is we're going to introduce some apprenticeships for technicians and also on the sales side. And we're thinking, especially with what's gone on, there's going to be a lot of people looking for maybe a career change or a job when they come out of this, because maybe where they were working is no longer going to open, or it's not going to have that large of a staff. So our timing, we think, is going to be perfect. We're looking for young talent that wants to come in, that wants to learn the business. So if you come in as a service technician apprentice, what we would do is team you up with one of our top technicians so that you could learn the technician business from what we feel are some of the best technicians in town, and then get to a point where that technician feels that you're ready to graduate and then go onto the line yourself. And we've had some of our ATECs raise their hands that said they would like to be, you know, a mentor and have the ability to share their knowledge with some of this young help so that we're able to. So we're going to do that on the technician side. On the sales side, same thing, where they could come in and shadow one of the sales consultants, go through, and both of them, it's an opportunity for them to see, is this really something I would like to do? And the opportunity to learn from some of the best talent in our area. So we think it's a win-win. So technicians, we would love to get some technicians that come in, and our techs, and I said earlier, A lot of our team members, whether you're in the management level or you're a service writer. A service writer is the person that when you come in would greet you, talk to you about your concerns with your vehicle and get you scheduled. The technicians, I mean, all of our people are long-term employees. The nice thing is we've grown to a point where we've been able to add some additional very good talent from in town. But we're always looking to put the best team on the field at all times, and we're looking to grow, because if Robbie wants to continue to grow our auto group, we got to make sure we have the talent on hand, so that if there's something else he's looking to purchase, another dealership out of the area, some other things, we've just got to make sure we've got a large pool of talent that we can draw from.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're looking to hire people, what sort of skills or traits are you looking for in those potential new employees?
Right now, whether it's sales, we could start with sales. It's got to be people who got good people skills, communication skills, someone who can interact with a customer, and can't be an introvert and sell cars.
Yeah.
So, someone who is confident enough to speak with customers and guests that come in. All of the other, because of the way we do business is so transparent, we're confident we can teach that end of it. As someone on the sales side has good people skills. And from that point, because we put our prices on every single one of our cars, it's not the old style car dealership where it's horse trading and you're going back and forth, and we put our best foot forward. The internet years ago, when we decided in 2006 to make sure all of our cars were priced right up front, a lot of dealers said it will only be a matter of time before Matthews either goes back to the traditional or they'll go out of business. Well, we've done nothing but grow since then. And it's about transparency. So as long as that person has good people skills and is confident sitting there carrying on a conversation with someone, we're confident we got the right group of people that can teach them the other skills, have the ability to sell. On the service side, it would be just any even just a small mechanical ability, because we would team you up with some of our best techs to learn the tricks of the trade. We're talking about having a starter set of tools for the apprentice techs, because that's one of the things that scares some of the younger people away, that they know they got to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on tools and a toolbox. So with this apprentice program, what we're talking about doing is we would actually provide that starter kit of the tools in the toolbox for them. And as long as they made it through the apprentice training and made it out onto the line, then they would receive that starter set at no charge to them. This is a great business to get into. A lot of people think of the car business as maybe that's not, or it's, well, if I can't do this, I'll go into the car business. I'm so glad I chose it as my primary career. Someone who gets into this business, and like I said, especially with us and with the Matthews Auto Group, you come in and you do well and apply yourself, the opportunity to get promoted from within is very high, and we're constantly doing that. We just announced a bunch of them last week, people from within that got promoted. It's important it's great that the people want to stay and love being here, and it's great that we can bring people along. And it's not just about a job, it's about a career path. There's nothing more when I sit with someone and we're talking about a possibility of employment with the Matthews Auto Group. Are you looking for a job or are you looking for a career? I can promise you this, if you're looking for a career, and it's my humble opinion, but there's no better place in this town to work than here. It's a very rewarding place. It's a great place to work.
Yeah. Is there anything you think that high school students can take advantage of while they're still in school to either kind of explore? I mean, you mentioned apprentice programs, but kind of explore career paths that you have at Matthews or get the skills they would need for employment?
Sure. There's a couple different ways to do that. I teamed up with the Windsor School District last year and was signed up to work again with them this year. And then with the school closing, we didn't get an opportunity to do it this spring. But we mentored. I went out and mentored 8 kids last year and talked about some of the different positions that are available and what it is that they would need to do. And we talked on the service side. BOCES has a great program available on the mechanical side that they're able to go to and get some of that initial training in. On the sales side, it was great because the majority of the people that the kids I met with were interested on the sales side. So I worked there with them in the guidance office at the school, and then they were able to come in here and spend a day, and I would team them up with different people in the sales department, whether it was the sales manager or one of the sales consultants, just so they could kind of get a feel for it. So we're open to that. Hopefully we want school to get open back up this fall. I would say to any of the school districts that would like someone from our auto group to come out and do some mentoring and spend some time with their kids. The kids are the future of our community. And I think it's very important that if we can invest in them, some of them may find out that, this is great. I would love to get into the car business, or they may find out it's not the right for them, but we want to expose them to it. And then bring them into our facility, let them see some of the real life scenarios, what is going on. Mm-hmm. It's for you and I to sit and talk. And like I would say to them when I was there, but what I'm going to do after the 3rd week, I said, okay, starting next week, I'm going to bring you guys in. I need you to raise your hands. And everybody, they wanted to come in and get a feel for it. So the school brought them in for a 4-hour span, one at a time throughout the spring last year. And they were able to come in, and some of them did multiple visits to get a real feel for it.
And you clearly understand more than a lot of people that what you do while you're in high school, even a part-time summer job, can lead to a career.
Yes. I am so glad that Danielle, you're exactly right. I'm so glad that I decided to, as crazy as I would ride my bike from Kirkwood, New York, from up by Sunset Bowling Lanes down to 151 Court Street and wash cars. So it was just about 7 miles one way, ride my bike down, wash cars for the day, and then ride my bike home. But because of that, I am where I am today. Mm-hmm. But if I wasn't exposed, and that's why I think it's so important that if there's a way for us to reach out to the community and say, look, we love the opportunity to get these juniors and seniors exposed to our auto group. I'm sure with some of the very good young talent, it would be great for them and it'd be awesome for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any other advice that you didn't share yet that you'd like to share with somebody interested in working at Matthews or in cars, sales, or auto at all?
No, other than just the main thing I can say, Danielle, is work hard. Work hard. I'm a firm believer, whether you call it the farm theory or whatever, you always harvest what you planted. And we have a lot of great people at this auto group. Like I said, our success is reliant on our teams. We got a lot of people that are very committed to taking care of the customers, and exceeding their expectations is our main goal. And with that has come the growth in sales, and always doing 110%. There's never growth without friction. So a lot of people want to grow, but they don't want to go through the tough part to get from where they are to where they need to go. The best thing I can tell people is go through that friction. Get into those uncomfortable situations. That's where you'll grow. And it has really, really worked for us here in the auto group. And I hate to be redundant, but I'm ecstatic. And I always say it's a privilege to work at the Matthews Auto Group. I don't know if I'd still be in the car business if I had started somewhere else. Maybe I would, but it's just this auto group and this family is second to none. We're always looking for talent. So anybody wants to raise their hand, I would love You know, I don't turn any interview away. I will always sit with people. We're constantly looking to add people, and we're constantly looking to grow. So it's an exciting auto group and an exciting time for us. And we'd love some additional team members to raise their hands.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today and for all the work that you're already doing for our schools and to get people engaged in your company. It's really great to hear, and I hope more people jump on that bandwagon too.
Well, Danielle, you're more than welcome. Like I said, if things get open up, let any of the other school districts know if they want to reach out to me.
Absolutely.
Whether it's myself or one of our other team members, we would love to, anything we can do to get involved with the high school community we're eager to do that.
So right at the end of this video will be my contact information. So anybody that has additional questions or would like to have Mark or somebody from Matthews Auto come into their school, just send me an email and we can get you into contact. So thanks again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Danielle. Bye, everybody.